Hands up. Police.
Police? What have I done? I just walked down the wrong driveway.
You sure did. Well, this is one stakeout that really paid off. Take him to the car.
The president's medal.
So the president gave him a medal for being a leading young citizen. Herb, that doesn't give him a license to steal.
But did he steal?
You take a look at the stuff we found on him. Screwdriver, knife, pliers, breaking and entering tools. Here's a newspaper account of a burglary last Friday in Towson Park. $800 in cash and over $2,000 in jewelry, furs, and wedding gifts. Nobody was at the house. Everybody was at the wedding of the daughter. Now, Herb, that's the 7th Friday night wedding burglary in the last 3 months. Why was he carrying that clipping? And here's a newspaper wedding announcement. We picked up Joe Tanner in front of that house, carrying that announcement and carrying these tools.
The fact that he had a newspaper article on a burglary doesn't prove that he did it.
No, and the fact that he had that newspaper wedding announcement doesn't prove that he was going to pull another job. But the cold hard fact is that we caught him in a stakeout at that house. And furthermore, excuse me. Come in, Joe. Joe Tanner, this is Mr. Maris.
Joe?
I'll be down the hall for a few minutes as a guard outside. Well?
You said the burglaries were all committed on Fridays. Yet you picked Joe up on a Tuesday.
So he changed his M.O. He's guilty.
I don't know whether or not he's innocent or guilty. But I'm interested enough to check further.
Well, Herb, don't waste your time. If he has an alibi, why doesn't he use it?
He doesn't think he needs it, and I'm convinced he won't use it. You know, John, at this point, you don't really have a very strong case.
Perhaps not, but I think before the day's over, I'll have enough for an indictment. Hi, Herb.
Hi.
What's this?
A statement explaining Tanner's whereabouts on Friday afternoon, the day of the robbery. He was with this girl, Wanda Mather, all day.
An alibi from Joe Tanner's girlfriend, unsupported by any other witnesses. Now, you take a look at it. Oh, here it is. Statement from an eyewitness. Mrs. Hines. She picked Joe Tanner out of a lineup and positively identified him as the man seen leaving the scene of the crime through an open window.
She's mistaken.
Now, Herb, I could be kind and say that Joe's girlfriend is mistaken. But as far as I'm concerned, that is a prearranged alibi. You think clearly. You're defending that medal.
In spite of the conflicting statements of Wanda Mather and the eyewitness, Mrs. Hines, and was determined to prove it. But first I had to find out why he'd lied to Wanda Mather about his...
Sure. Now, Joe, you better take this. We'll be ready in a minute, Herb.
Don't worry, Joe. Just do what you tell me.
I don't...
Now, for his sake, I hope he doesn't move the wrong way.
All right, Mrs. Hines. Start at the beginning.
Well, it was Friday afternoon. I knew the people in this house were at their daughter's wedding. And I was in the kitchen of my house, and as I walked over to the sink, I happened to look out the window, and I saw that window being raised.
Joe, raise the window. That's your kitchen?
Yes.
Let's go over there. All right, Miss Hines. Have Joe do everything just as you saw it.
Lean out the window and drop the bag. No, with your right hand. Now come out the window. Right leg first. Now jump forward like you did before.
Well, go ahead and jump. Mrs. Hines said jump.
Mr. Maris, I said I'd cooperate, but I'm not going to jump for that window. Not with this leg.
Thanks, Joe. Would you jump? Joe has a bad leg.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Hines.
You're welcome.
And be with Wanda. We went down to the Summit Lodge to get dinner Friday night. It's the only restaurant around that area. It's a place where everybody stops to eat and get gas before going down the other side.
I know where it is.
Wanda and I were at...
You're Lieutenant Weston. I've been in and out of your office 10 times today. Nobody in your department knows where you are or how to get in touch with you. Mr.
I'm in there.
John, you must have had other suspects before Joe.
They're in there. Well, what now?
One more chance.
One more chance?
Those strangers that Joe talked to that Friday night at the bar.
Summer Ridge Cafe. Yeah, it's worth a try. Let's go, Joe. It looks as if this extra chance your client's getting isn't doing any good.
It's too early yet. Give it a chance. You'll be the same man Mrs. Hines saw.
Hi, remember me? Friday night, you were kidding my girl and me about getting married. You know, the little brunette.
Oh, yeah. Cute kid.
You remember you were telling me about the robbery in Towson Park?
Yeah?
Well, I read about it in the paper the next morning.
Well, nice seeing you.
Spin around, keep your hands on the bar. Jerry. Now, how did you know about the robbery before the newspapers and radio got it? Take him out of here, Jerry. Well, Joe, you should consider yourself lucky. Mr. Maris here has just given you another chance to live up to the president's medal.